So you've fallen in love with a Moroccan and you're ready to say I do. Well, buckle up, because in Morocco, it's not just a wedding. They make you work for it. You need to make an online appointment before you arrive or even book your trip at the U.S. consulate in Casablanca, so you can get an affidavit of nationality and eligibility to marry in Morocco. And that little piece of paper will cost you $50, and we are just getting started. So while you're there, you need to get notarized copies of your passport pages. I guess they want to see that you entered Morocco legally. Not sure, but that'll cost you $50 more. If you've been married before, you'll need a divorce decree. If your spouse passed away, you'll need his or her death certificate. If you've never been married before, congratulations, you skipped this step. You'll need a medical certificate from a Moroccan doctor stating that you're in good health. Apparently, they want to make sure you are marriage material, literally. And here's where it gets better. Almost everything you have to get it translated to Arabic. So if you can, I'd advise you to try to send whatever paperwork you can ahead of time, like maybe just like scan and forward it to your future spouse so they can go ahead and get a jump start on getting papers translated. And it is kind of expensive. I don't know, my husband paid for everything. I think it's like 150 dirhams per page. It depends on the translator. Oh, and let's talk about interviews. So you have to interview with the police, you have to interview with a judge, you have to meet with an adul, the person who marries you. So it's basically like a job interview, but instead of a paycheck, you get a spouse. This is pretty important if you're a non-Muslim man marrying a Muslim woman, because in Morocco, if you are marrying a Muslim woman, you have to be Muslim. So you have to convert to Islam first, and that could take months. So you need to plan ahead. If you are a non-Muslim woman, you need a paper stating your religion, and you can get that from maybe even your translator or a dual. But you have to be Muslim, Christian, or Jewish to marry a Muslim man. You're going to need 4 passport photos. You're also going to need a Moroccan police report. You can get that ahead of time online. You're also going to need an FBI check from the U.S. You can get that ahead of time too. But I also got a local one. They say you can get a local one too and not do the FBI, but we did both just to be safe. You need evidence of employment from an employer in the United States, or evidence that you're employed. So you need like W-2s or maybe pay stubs. You need a written statement saying that you actually want to get married, because they have to double check. And when you finally submit everything to the adult, it costs around 1,000 dirhams, I think. I'm not sure, but at this point, who's even counting? It's a lot of running around, starting in Casa with the U.S. Embassy, and then you have to go to the Ministry of Justice in Rabat to get those papers stamped. We were able to do an Agadir. They had a branch there, so maybe you could look out and see if there's one closer depending on where you are in Morocco. So when all your papers are done and translated, you have to take them over to the courthouse, and then they'll set up a police interview with you. Then you'll go back to the courthouse, you'll see the judge, you'll have an interview with them, and then they'll give you permission to marry. And then finally, you'll go to the adul, and after all that, you'll be married and you could start the immigration process. You need to plan ahead. This can take a long time. I've heard stories where it has taken people a month. Now, we were extremely lucky and we got it done in 4 days, which is not the norm, because in Morocco, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And let's just say we knew the right people. Now, this may sound like a lot and super overwhelming, because it is, but once it's all done and you get your happily ever after, trust me, that part makes it worth everything. So good luck to you.